What's that big orange pillow over there?
Oh.
That's my meditation pillow. That's my hemorrhoid pad.
Is it? Is that what it really is? A hemorrhoid pad?
No, it's my meditation pillow.
Oh, of course it's orange.
It's made out of buckwheat holes or some shit.
Really?
Yeah, man. I take it to work and I put it in this little closet and I meditate at work.
You get a lot of shit, don't you? People give you a lot of shit for that.
Yeah, and you know what? I decided I didn't care.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
So you take your break in the
They're all
closet
so angry, and I'm like, whatever.
on a pillow.
The room is barely big enough, too, for like my little mat. I got a little pad, too. And I put it down, my little chakra zone.
So you take your break.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get a break.
Fucking Billy Madison was on the other day, and I was watching it. And it's when he's in, God, I think it's the first, it's in kindergarten. And everyone's out playing kickball, and he gets knocked, or dodgeball, and he gets knocked out, and he goes back in the classroom, and the lady's doing all the weird fucking dances.
Oh, yeah.
Recess isn't just for the kids; it's a special time for Miss Lippy too. I was just like, that's orange on his brakes, just like boom,
That is funny.
putting paste on his eyes.
Well, we're back.
Back in action.
Welcome back
home, fucking newlyweds.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You
That was
know
a fun
what's
party.
weird? People always say, you know, well, this is actually what I was thinking. Oh, we don't have to get married. Like, we really don't, okay? But it gives you a different view on marriage, I guess. It gives you a little stamp. It's like, fuck, we're married.
It feels good. It's a badge. It's a wearing the ring. It's like it's something you've earned, and it's something you got to work for and maintain. You know, it's like you can't just like buy a Ferrari and then run it into the ground. You got to change the oil. You got to rotate the tires. Like
Exactly.
it's work and takes maintenance and shit. But
Yeah.
if you guys don't fucking know, Mr. Orange and Mama KGB have been engaged this whole fucking time. And they got married a couple weekends ago. It was fucking awesome.
It was good, man. The tacos were amazing.
Oh, the tacos.
Right?
That's the only way to do it,
Oh, my gosh.
That was awesome.
right?
That was delicious.
They were great, and it gave everybody a chance to just kind of socialize and
Yeah.
mingle, and nobody, you know.
Well, I
liked
wasn't
it. It was
eating.
great.
I wasn't feeling ultra hungry at first, and I'm not a big fan of lines. And I was just like,
Yeah.
if there's food left over, there's food left over. I'll get some food. So the line went down. It was like boom, boom, got some tacos. And then I was like, fuck, do you think there's any more tacos? And then somebody said like, oh yeah, he's making them cook all the meat. There's like no, they're not allowed to take any meat home. That's why he's working so hard over there. He has to cook all the meat. Maybe you told me that. I don't remember who told me that. Somebody told me that. So the guy's over there just smashing, cooking up all this meat. And I went back. I was like, yo, can I get like one more taco? He's like, yeah, I'll give you a taco. And then he like, he dishes up the taco and he goes, and here's some extra meat, and just like spatulas like this whole like 6 more tacos worth of meat on the plate. I was like, I just wanted one. And he's like, fucking take it, get out of here. And I was like, so I'm like eating this meat with a butter knife. I don't know why. We had been drinking, and your Mexican homies brought out the fucking tequila, and I like the first utensil. I just grabbed the first one. It turned out to be a knife. I was like, it'll work. And fucking, I'm going. I have this little cut on my finger from that night. I don't know where I got it, but maybe it was from that weird little plastic butter knife. But I was smashing that meat. Well, and then Nikki saw me eating meat with a knife, and she's like, babe, here's a spoon. And like got me a spoon. So I'm just like shoveling all this taco fillings into my mouth.
It was delicious. Yeah, and we already paid for it. So he said, I'm like, how much is left? And he's like, do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, we want it. So that's why I said, just get done. You know what I mean? Like, just cook it up. We'll eat it as the night goes on. You don't need to stay here all night.
Oh, for sure.
We had
Yeah,
so
so
many leftovers. The kids were eating for days.
The whole time
Well,
we were
that's
gone.
what I figured too.
The
I was
whole
like,
time we were gone.
it's tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos.
It
And that's
was
the great
awesome.
thing about tacos, as you guys fucking know. I mean, I don't get sick of them.
No.
Yeah.
First thing I got when we got to Mexico was a fucking pastor taco. It was great being down there, man. So because of the wedding honeymoon, we decided to make this a love, love, love episode.
Hell yeah.
And
L3.
Right, exactly. There's a lot of love going on right now. So.
it was great. It helps your marriage, right? They say the happier you are, the longer you're going to live.
Yeah.
That was a study, and it wasn't like just some bullshit article. There was all these links referenced within that I didn't click. I just read the article. But down towards the bottom of the article, it was like a New York Times article or something where I saw this. This is a study they had been conducting from like 1974 through like 2016 or something. So it was a big, broad research study. It wasn't just some bullshit about like having a happier marriage like tends to help you live longer. And if you just think about it, a happier person is less likely to develop, internal negativity can manifest
stress.
Manifest into cancers and things like that. Not to say like people give themselves cancer, but to a degree it's possible. So
you've been reading that book, that Sex at Dawn book. Isn't that the one where he talks about they don't find heart disease?
Yeah.
And in hunter-gatherer tribes, it just doesn't exist.
It doesn't because you're so happy. You're basically...
And you're eating healthy because you're always eating fresh. I mean, like literally.
So
like he's talking about the Aboriginals were like eating bugs. And so the white guys that get there are so... This is our point in the world. This is how it works. That they were like grossed out and they're like, clearly he's a savage if he eats bugs. Well, it turns out the bugs they're eating are like some of the most nutritious shit you can eat.
Right.
And now it's coming back full circle and they're saying crickets are going to like replace beef as the number one staple for food because they're so good for you. Isn't that weird to think about?
Yeah, I don't like thinking about it.
Actually, I saw something on a History Channel where they are looking forward to bringing food into some restaurants and they're all made out of crickets, which is disgusting. But it's kind of intriguing because I'd like to try something like that in some way.
Yeah.
That's what 3D printed food's going to be made out of, man. It's going to be colored crickets.
Cricket ink?
Yeah, you're going to have a cricket hopper. Like you'll have a big cricket thing over your house and it'll just dump crickets in there and then you'll just press a button and it'll come out and it'll look and taste and everything else, but it'll really be made of cricket.
Our tongues are going to start evolving and we'll be able to flick them across the room. Sexual harassment will take a whole nother level because I'll only have to be within 4 feet of a woman and just go... like real quick, get fired from every job. Fucking forked lizard tongues. You can tell the difference between the good people and the bad people because the good people have round, sticky tongue like frogs, and the bad people have forked tongues like the devil snake.
But if people are gonna live longer and are still happier, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, man. Line the crickets up.
Seriously,
I'm ready.
Shit.
We also got to give out a special love and thank you to our neighborhood and Pepto. The day of the ceremony. I mean, we had so much leading up, but the day of the ceremony, we had so many neighbors that contributed and in varied amount of ways. Just being here, being a body was helpful for an amount of time. Just, I need that done. Please don't make me think about that. The backyard, the concrete didn't get sealed till Friday. So it all had to go up Saturday morning. We could pre-decorate nothing. All the lights got hung. Everything along the back of the house that was hanging. I mean, everything. And it would not have happened without Lord and Lady Flatulent and Pepto and Fletch and so many of the people you guys have heard about on the show. Just, I don't know. It felt amazing. I got choked up during the wedding when I tried to talk about it. It's amazing to know that so many people around you were willing to just whatever you need, ask. It was cool.
Our support system is amazing here. Our neighborhood, our neighbors, everybody are just so freaking amazing. So
you guys are good people, and people like to help out good people. It doesn't feel like work or a chore when you're doing a good thing for somebody, for good people,
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's not like, oh man, can you do this? And they're like, fuck, They're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. Otherwise, you'd have been doing all that shit yourself,
exactly,
and it wouldn't have come together as nice as it did. There was a lot of people crammed into that yard.
It was so much better once they stopped trying to all eat at the same time. I wasn't, and part of the problem was that the photo booth, I missed. I guess I didn't understand exactly what it was going to be like. I didn't think it was going to be such a big deal. So
people love those photo booths.
I know, but we had to move the booze, which forced everybody into the same area. In hindsight, I would have set the yard up a little bit differently to avoid that, and I think it would have felt amazing all night. regardless, after the initial wave of people getting food, it was no longer that crowded right there, so it worked out great.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but for a while there, it was everybody was pretty jammed into that.
Fucking
that one little
worked. Who
part.
cares? Like, if anyone's complaining about that, they can
Nobody's
fuck
complained.
themselves,
It's
you
been
know?
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, not anybody would probably, but I'm just saying it's
the only
been high
complaint
praise.
that I have is nobody fell in the pool. So, like, the whole time I was like, fuck, it's gonna be me. And I'm working hard. I'm working hard to not fall in the pool. I was like, but you know, you don't want to think about it too hard because you don't want to manifest it and fall in the fucking pool.
Exactly.
And then I kind of just made peace with it. I was like, ugh, whatever. If it's going to be funny, you know, but I, thank goodness, didn't fall in the pool. And then I was like, well, fuck, somebody else going to fall in the pool. And I was just, once I saw the bottle of tequila come out and people started having shots, I was like, someone's definitely falling in the pool now. Nobody fell in the pool, so which is a good thing. It's not a serious complaint.
And it was really nice because nobody was rowdy. It was very, I don't know, people were drinking.
The cops were even cool when they showed up.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's right.
It was
Playing
very
basketball with
P3.
the kids.
Yeah, man.
We came out. I apologized. They said they could hear us from really far.
just turned the bass down.
Nah, that's what I said. I'm just going to make him shut the bass off. And I think we were fine after that.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. The whole thing was fun.
It was great.
So was the ceremony.
It's
beautiful.
Because I got
I had to. I'm sorry.
I got shit
love
upon
you.
by my new wife.
I love you so much, babe, but you are so amazing with words, and sometimes words don't come to me like the way they do to you. You're so good in communicating and talking and writing. I mean, whatever it is, and I know I had to do something amazing. I had to leave you speechless. That was my goal, and not necessarily like to show off in some way, but I kind of wanted to kind of be like, listen,
I was proud of you.
You're married to this.
Good for
I was
you.
stunned. I'm going to actually play if you don't mind.
I don't.
We can play him. Now, I don't know if you want to listen to him again. It might take me a minute to find him. I hadn't planned on doing this.
There is no doubt in my mind that we were made for each other. I remember the first time I saw you. As we walked towards each other, I felt a jolt in my heart as soon as I saw your smile. I knew from that exact moment my life would never be the same. I was right. You had my heart from that moment. Today, I promise you to be your support system when you need me most. I promise I will walk towards you instead of away from you when times get tough. I know we have our good days, and I know we will have our off days. But I want all the days with you, no matter which ones they are. I also want to promise you that I will wait to watch our favorite show together, even though I really, really want to watch it when you're at work. I promise to keep saying random things to make you laugh, because I love it when I'm the one that makes you laugh. Today I want to promise that you will always have chores to the day you decide to. I promise that I will be crazy about making you clean up after yourselves, but I also promise to love and support you when you need it most. I promise to encourage and believe in you. It won't be easy, but know that I love you very much, and I'm blessed to have you boys in my life. We have an amazing family, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I should have brought bath on.
I told her I was going to wing this. She just made it really hard. I remember the night.
Yeah.
And that could kind of be the end of it.
Well, I remember gasping a little bit because yours was so beautiful, and you were shouting out you like specifically turned and faced the kids and like addressed everybody, and it was beautiful vows. I'm a wedding pussy. Like, I start crying and shit, so I was like, I'm gonna need to put these sunglasses back on. And I did it super early. I took them off, and I was like, I'm gonna be fine. Some people were like, why are you wearing your sunglasses? I was like, I cry at weddings. Like, I don't give a shit. I just do. And then I was like, I think I'll be all right. I'll be okay at this one. And something happened. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was when you were walking down the aisle or something, but I was like, oh, fucking, I need to get these back out. So I got them back out. And then she just destroys the speech, not the speech, the vows. And then you said, I'm going to wing it. And I was like, like, I felt like a gay dude or something, like, no, he's not going to wing the vows. I was like, oh shit, you're fucked. There's a part you started getting a little quiet. I'm like, speak up, motherfucker. You can't. Oh, well, she shook. He shook now. It's like a rap battle.
I was on the ropes,
Motherfucker,
man,
like, didn't
yeah.
say what, dude? Like, no, yours were great too.
I had more. I did. I didn't write anything down. I thought about it, but I
looked
kind
like
of
you
was.
pulled the ripcord a little bit.
I got out a little early.
No, did you not? Or is
Yeah.
that just my?
I didn't. I was speechless.
You said yeah. It seemed like you didn't
I wasn't
really
ready.
know how. You got caught off guard.
Oh yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, not a little bit. She's been laughing about this shit all week in Mexico. Every time I go, you motherfucker, and she just.
Should have wrote your shit down. You don't go to an HBO
She had a little
special.
scroll. It's all laced up. I'm like, what the hell is all this stuff?
You don't ad lib an HBO special. You come with pre-written, rehearsed jokes. Wait, you had it like scrolled with lace?
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
notice that. I couldn't see.
And Jaji had it, so we just pulled it out of his. I'm like, Jaji, where's my vows?
That's awesome.
I had no idea.
Well, you know what? For me, it was hard because throughout the day, I would think about it nonstop, like really as a month up to the wedding, and every time I would just start falling asleep, things would come to me, and I would like wake up, and I had to write it down. They were all in my notes on my phone.
Yeah.
And I had to think about how I'm gonna put it because it was all like not in order. It was just something's here, something's there.
Brainstorms, ideas.
Exactly. And so when I was sitting at work, and I was like, light bulb. And so I just started putting everything together. So
Good for you. It was wonderful. That, not to get off topic, but that is my favorite feature of the wonderful technology that is our iPhones is that notepad app and just like boop, jotting something down right quick before you forget, and then everyone used to say back in the day, keep a notepad by your bed. Like if you were trying to decipher dreams, or if you're a writer and thoughts come to you, or also that notepad in the shower thing. A lot of people get ideas in the shower and whatnot. So that's cool that you recognized that, took advantage of that, jotted down those notes, and compiled quite the epic vows for your wedding ceremony.
well, I printed out some in the put a little frame around it.
Oh, I was going to do that for you. See, I can't even fucking get that right. You already planned that? Ay, chinga.
Fine. You can do it for me.
You guys are, and I'm not really into this, but she wants to do it. But if you guys are going to have to do a vow renewal ceremony just to get a second crack at that.
Oh, I'm going to. For sure. I did have a little twist to how I was going to mount your vows, though. You'll love it.
Okay,
So
I'll let you do
yeah.
Oh, you're going to mount her vows? I didn't know it was this kind of show.
No, we're done with that for a couple days. I'm an old man. The honeymoon was a blast. It started out great. We took some cookies the night before, and we stayed up all night, and we just kept getting later. We're like, yeah, whatever. And it was cool. We were having this great time. We were watching TV, and that was cool. Then we shut that off, and we turned on some Dead, and we were listening to the Dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I wanted to go outside and look at the stars, and it was cold. So we go back inside. I'm in the closet, middle of the night. It's pitch dark. We got the room darkening blinds now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you find those hard to wake up? Well, you're
Well,
off
if I'm trying
schedule
to sleep
right
during
now.
the day, yeah.
It is hard to wake up, but you know what? It's kind of nice when you don't even have to see the light coming through in the middle of the night. It's just you fall asleep. You stay asleep.
Nikki
basically.
likes closing the curtains and shit, and I'm like, I need the light to wake up. Like, I cannot wake up in the morning. So it's kind of like a power struggle, but...
This is the text I sent at 1 a.m. Trying to remember how long ago I got married. Listening to the Grateful Dead. Pitch fucking black in my room with the dark out curtains. I want to go out and see stars. Grab the Mountain Man special in the dark, and that's how I found myself staring at the stars wearing a reversible vest and absolutely nothing else. I send that to Fletch and the Mountain Man because he's always got those stupid vests on, and for whatever reason I got out there. I was like, yeah, I feel like texting these guys last night.
And he was butt naked, and we were outside.
Where were the kids? Asleep.
Sleep. No.
Yeah. The what's the third one's name?
Clementine.
Thank you. I had it in my head like a second ago. Clementine wasn't here.
Oh, right.
And so then the other two, the older two, were here, and we were hoping asleep.
Oh, they
the
were
third kid?
asleep because
Yeah.
I know a couple of kids snuck in, have a few beers and a few wines.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, that was on the wedding?
No. That was the next day.
So you were home a day.
we had to
Kinda
clean.
tore down.
We had to
Yeah.
clean the whole thing, and it was a mess. And he
Yeah,
came and
but-
got all the tables, and we got everything picked up, and we got
were
packed,
done
and we were
within,
like, let's
the
just chill
hour.
out. We thought we were just gonna
That's cool.
eat some cookies and go to bed.
Did
and
you
then
guys crash out on the plane?
we crashed all the way down there. We get there, we check in, we get to the room, we go to sleep at like 6:30 or
did.
7. Wake up in the morning. Want to go get breakfast? Only time we got breakfast, whole time we were there.
Seriously.
Really?
And, well, that and the night. That
Oh
we left.
no, that's
The
right.
morning that we
Why no
Yeah.
other breakfast?
We just didn't get up.
we were too hungover, or we
Yeah.
had pizza in the
Late
fridge, or we
night.
had or we had guac. What else was it? Chips and nachos.
Is
and
the
stuff.
guac good there?
Oh my gosh! Well, yes.
Sometimes.
Depends.
At the restaurant, like
anywhere, right?
in the big restaurant, it wasn't good at all. It was crap. But
Ah.
other places, it was their ceviche. Oh my god, to die for!
Really?
I could eat and live all day with ceviche. Seriously,
That's like salsa with shrimp in it.
it's shrimp, it's octopus, it's like all that other.
Why would you eat octopus?
It's so good.
You don't like octopus
I
at
don't
all? You
think
don't like
so.
calamari?
I like calamari, but that's squid, right?
No, I don't know. Actually,
I think it's squid.
Why do you think they're around sometimes?
I don't know. Are those just the? I don't fuck with those ones.
Oh,
Those are little octopuses, huh?
they got the little arms.
Yeah, tentacles. Now we're getting anatomically correct
right?
about ceviche. Anyway, that's cool. Shrimp's all right.
It was awesome. So the day on the beach. I mean, well, a couple of days at the beach. You can't go swimming on the Pacific side where we were staying,
Right.
Because
The rocks are too jagged,
not only
right?
the rocks.
No, well,
it's-
there's
waves.
even when there are no rocks, the riptide's too strong.
Suck you right
you
in,
could
right?
see them. We were up. Where were we? We were
the
up
top
high,
sky pool.
the sky pool, and you could see how far the tides were going back.
So everyone just fucks with swimming pools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to the beach at all.
Really?
No, nobody goes to like lay out. They have like bungalows down there. You don't want to get out there and be hot and have to walk all the way back up to the pool to cool off and then walk all the way back down. So nobody goes to the beach on that side. On the other side of town, everyone's on the beach, but that's where all the salesmen are.
Right.
So you're trading it. That's crazy. We went into town one day. It was nuts.
Yeah.
And it was Sammy Hagar's birthday. So he was having a big birthday party down there because, he owns Cabo Wabo or whatever.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there was definitely that crowd in town.
And you could tell that crowd.
yeah.
They're like the older,
was
the big
funny.
hair.
It was.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of good stories from that coming up for sure. I don't want to bombard everybody with all of our crazy honeymoon stories from the Jersey Shore Guido reject that was just straight middle school dance finger banging an old broad in the pool, the main pool.
Like literally finger banging
Yes.
her?
Going to town, we're tapping people on the shoulders like, you watching this shit? And everybody's dying, and some people were like, no, oh my God.
Really?
Dude, we're swimming up to the swim bar, right?
Oh, those are cool.
Those are really awesome. And so I'm like, what the fuck, babe? Like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, do you see this?
Like hand in her bikini.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And she's in his pants. I mean, and we're like, I'm like, look, it's a show and
Late
a drink
50s.
at the same time.
Thank God for chlorine.
Oh
Well,
my God.
not enough. So it was fun. We met a lot of really cool people, too.
Did actually. So that
How do
was a
you go?
blast.
Well, you don't have a problem meeting people. That's kind of like what you do.
Yeah.
But like, how do you like meet people on vacation? Like,
Just start talking. I mean,
what do you do?
I'm
I
more.
do this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Coming
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of my closet in some way because of him. I'm very I'm
Coming out of your
social.
shell.
Yeah.
That was another Russianism by Mama KGB. Sometimes the foreigners don't get the metaphors of the sayings right.
What did she say? She's coming out of what?
Coming out of her closet a little more, honey. You just
Maybe she did say that right.
You just entered into a straight marriage. You're 2 weeks too late. You better crawl back in the fucking closet. No, she meant to say she's coming out of her shell a little bit
Yep.
more in regards to talking to strangers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever, you and your perfect words.
Sorry. I don't know why I'm
It's
being such a
funny.
grammar prick
No, I
tonight.
like it. It's funny. It's okay because what did I say earlier? I'm breaking bridges versus
Yeah.
burning them. I'm literally gonna take a fucking axe to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd probably want a sledgehammer, not an axe. An axe would chop wood, but anyway.
God damn it. No, but it was kind of cool. I started talking to people. We're sitting by the pool and having a conversation. I don't even know these people, but
Yeah.
like it's not like I'm ever gonna see them again in my mind, right? Nope. There are a couple of people we met that are like 40 minutes away from us. Literally a couple
kidding?
who lives right like around the corner
Around
from
the
us.
corner, dude. This whole resort's
That's
covered
weird.
with these trails, and everything's built on the side of these cliffs. So they have 5-speed golf carts. Manual, you know what I mean? So the guys,
right.
you having to get up and down these hills, and they take you everywhere like little cabs. And we get on one, and we're just like, hey, how you guys doing? Where are you from? And I had just got done giving her shit earlier that day for telling people we were from Roseville. I'm like, nobody knows where fucking Roseville is, right? Tell them we're from Sacramento so we don't have to explain
What's
where Roseville is. Who
Roseville?
cares,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I kind of, I'm like, I just say that to her. I'm like, we're just wasting time. So then we get on that thing, and we're like, so where are you guys from? Oh, I'm from
Roseville.
Sacramento. He goes, oh, really? So where at? And they're like, Roseville. We're like, no kidding, where at? They fucking live around the corner.
That's
we,
insane.
And we
It was funny.
worked right next to each other right before I switched
And me and him used to work for the
locations.
same company.
Weird.
It's fucking hilarious.
The last day, not to talk over
no.
your honeymoon,
No.
but when we were on our honeymoon last year, we were in St. Lucia in the Caribbean. So it's like you got to fly to Florida and then fly to St. Lucia. So it's like a whole day's worth of travel and shit. So we're like on the opposite side of the country, like way down in the Caribbean, right? Our last night on the honeymoon, they had like this big luau and whatnot. And we started doing, I don't know how, it's not like really my vibe, but we got into the games. So we started doing like the limbo. And this one maniac was like breakdancing on concrete like an idiot. You could tell he was hella drunk. He was like doing like moves and hitting the concrete hard. I was like, that fool's going to hurt tomorrow. I wasn't that drunk. It was like the end of X amount of days of just unlimited inclusive drinks and shit. And I was just like taking it kind of slow. We're doing the limbo, this and that. We get on the mic for something and they like asked where we were from or whatever, and we told them Sacramento, and whatever, the festival's winding down or whatever, we go back to the bar, and we're over at the bar, and these two people come up and they're like, that's funny, we're from Sacramento, we're here on our honeymoon too. And we're like, what the fuck, like all the way across the world or whatever, or however far away that is. Two people from Sac are there spending their honeymoon too, and I was like, that's kind of weird, so I fully know what you're talking about. That's super small world, right?
It really is. I mean, when even people from like Montana and stuff, and we became friends with them, they're an older couple.
Yeah,
Oh, they're hella cool. Like freaking super cool.
that's cool.
This couple that lives up here in Grass Valley, and the guy, and after the end of talking to him for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, he's like, you're never going to smoke anybody's weed other than mine ever again. He's got a bunch of acres and he grows a bunch up there and he wants me to come up. We bonded, dude. We were hugging.
Really?
Oh, and I wasn't like,
You guys
this
number
was in
and
the,
stuff?
oh yeah.
Yeah, nice.
This was like early in the afternoon too. This wasn't like we'd been drinking all day and we're drunk at a bar this was kind of early. We started talking over football because there were these five probably late 40s to late 50s African American women that were there by themselves, and they were hilarious.
From Kansas City.
We met the one, I think, because of the finger bang Guido. I think I pointed it out to her too.
Her name is Sherry.
Sherry. So so you know me, right? Like I'm cataloging this
Hey,
shit.
I saw you at the pool bar yesterday when we were watching that Guido bang that old broad. She's like, that's right. No.
So then we were having a good old time with them, and they're from Kansas City, so they're talking all this shit about football. So then we see him again at the pool that day, and this guy chimes in something about the Raiders. I'm like, yeah, it's like, fuck yeah, right? So I just go over there just to talk with him for a minute. Ends up being a hella cool dude. He was there with his dad and his dad's girlfriend and his wife, and their kids were up in the room. So they were just hella cool, man. They got a bunch of acres up there. They told us they want us to come up and have a big bonfire. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bring some cookies. It's going to be fun.
Hey, good for you, man. That's so much better. Life's so much better with friends, man. I got to learn to come out of my closet, as Mama KGB said, and make some friends. Be a little less closed off, a little less isolated. I think I isolate myself a lot of times maybe as a defense mechanism or for protection, because sometimes shit just goes bad sometimes. But you don't want to how many good experiences am I what's the fucking
You're not
word?
missing
Now I can't.
out on, but
You know what I mean?
Experience.
So many great people I could meet, so many wonderful friendships I could have, or great experiences I could have. Maybe it's not even a lasting friendship, but it's one cool afternoon in Mexico with a bunch of cool people all vibing versus everybody sitting there not talking to each other. In
Oh,
their
that
phones.
drives me crazy.
You know?
And even the one couple from Montana, they were both on their phones, and I was like, look at these two, babe. And they were just, man, or whatever. And then something gets said, and I make a comment, and we start talking with them, and I was giving them a hard time about that. And they were like, no, we know. And it was just like, you caught us just for a minute. We've been doing whatever all day, and we just started chatting with them.
Right.
And they were hella cool, and he worked for all kinds of different, he was fun. We went out, we ended up leaving the
went
bar,
to
we'd go get
sushi.
sushi, and we were just bullshit with them all night.
Dinner.
Ooh, how's sushi in Mexico?
Oh.
That sounds like
At
a
the
no-fly
restaurant,
zone.
it was...
That sounds like, I mean, no offense, but y'all do.
Tangelo's giving me shit because when we went to Ensenada last year, he did oysters. I'm like, you're an idiot. I'm like,
Right?
and he did it with his uncles and my stepdad, right? And so then he's like, oh, why is sushi better than oysters? I said, there's a big difference between oysters and Ensenada and sushi at, a huge resort in Cabo.
Yeah.
I get it. So it's like the.
But yeah, it wasn't out in town.
And it was delicious.
I'm not pulling into Paco sushi.
yeah, okay. I've never been.
Well, you will
So,
now. We
yeah.
bought a place. We're on timeshare.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know how to respond to this. I was like, you're crazy. I was like, first day in, texted me, hey, we're gonna have an outhouse retreat. We just bought a fucking timeshare. I was like, you idiots.
I kind of knew it was coming.
You
Got
gotta-
a guy and his wife have one at the
Yeah.
same place, and they
Oh,
can
okay.
use it all over, and they have used it all over.
What does
So
that mean?
we can go to different places. It doesn't have to be just there. They have like sister resorts and more
Around the world or
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
country?
around the world.
Yeah.
So
We
Oh,
can go to
that's
Hawaii, Disneyland. We can go to Rome.
Now, is that like another monthly payment you have now?
kind
Kind
of
of.
for a little while.
Yeah.
It won't be bad. The only reason, if she hadn't worked herself into that awesome race she got, then we wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But we were like, you know what?
Yeah.
We deserve a little bit of a reward. We've been
Yeah.
spending all our money on stuff that was much more practical. So
Yeah, that's cool. I was worried. I was like, oh, they're like super high on honeymoon and just bought some stupid shit. Like, I was like hella worried for you. I was like, I know what they're fucking doing. Who
Yeah.
cares? That'll be
yeah,
cool.
no, it wasn't.
know?
Yeah, it wasn't a complete
It-
impulse.
We really just sat there and we really
Well,
talked
for a
about
while
it for a
and-
while because I was like, no, we're not going to do it. No. And he's like, well, these are the benefits. And then I started thinking about it. Well,
And they kept coming back. And then we told them that Gotta Guy's got a place. So they looked him up. So then it was the whole spiel. They kept coming down.
oh, they came
And
down
finally it
way
just reached a point where it's like, okay, we want to travel.
Right.
So if we can do this where we get these weeks every year or every other year, I guess you can move them around. But
Right.
after what you initially already pay for, if you want another week, it's just another couple $100 for a whole week in
Right.
fucking Florence or
That's-
wherever we want to go, or wherever Tangelo wants to go, or wherever we want all the kids to travel.
Right.
So if we utilize it, it's worth it. If you just sit on it and never use it,
Yeah, that's
complete
a
waste of money. Yeah.
Right. Well, it was funny. We were in Southern California visiting my uncle, and they were telling us about how they used to sit through all these timeshare spiels, knowing that they weren't going to buy shit just to get like the free weekend
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds kind of funny. Like, I wouldn't, whatever. And they just told this story. They're like, we went to this place and we went to this place. And they know how to track down all these deals and talking about all these various stays they got or whatever. Like, no shit. An hour later, I got that text from you. I just bought a fucking timeshare. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how weirdly connected is the universe? Like, these people were saying like how they hustled the timeshare people for free trips, and then this motherfucker just says, I just bought a timeshare, it was a really good deal. I was like, oh, you did it wrong, bro. Like, you just got sucked.
There's different, if you're willing to sit through all that shit
Yeah.
and then deal with all the restrictions of your free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't sounding like a good idea. I wasn't on board
It's a
with
lot of work
either, really.
You get some reward if you're the type of person that can go into it knowing that
not
you're
very
just there and you're going to say no matter what, because I feel bad for the person on the other line. Now, I'm not going to waste
Right.
money, but the person on the other end is trying to make a living.
They're working, yeah. And it's like, I'm just going to sit here and be a hard no,
And I
make
knew it-
you work.
And I knew how it was going to work and tumble down. And when it comes down to it at the end of the day, I think it was a good deal for our family.
I think
And like I
that's
said,
great.
we can go to Tahoe, bro. For the same price that we paid for that dump we stayed in for one night, we could do a whole big thing. You know what I'm saying? We
No,
just got to
that's
plan
right.
it out better.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously, we stayed in the dump because we waited too long. We didn't choose to, but
That was kind of a
still.
whim. And that was a fun weekend.
Yeah. Oh no, it was.
Remember when you threw up in the bleachers?
a lot.
I was like watching the show and I was like, God, it kind of smells like, oh my God. He's like just right next to me, just I just kind of like move. I'm good.
It was pretty funny.
Thank you. I'm a little sleepy. I'm tired. I've been going to bed early. It's crazy. I haven't been drinking. Like the baby goes to bed early and then she retires and whatnot. And then I'm like, fuck it. I'll be like asleep by 10. And I'm like, that's like, I couldn't sleep until like 11:30 back in the day or later. And then I would just find myself like doing things or drinking even just to keep myself up. It's like I haven't been drinking, haven't been smoking. I've been going to bed, spending time with the baby, doing shit. Last weekend was amazing. We did nothing but just hang out, and not to get off subject and, not to shit on your guys' happy moment and whatnot. But this is what was happening back in Sacramento.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
back in reality. No, it finally turned into fall this weekend. Like, it felt like fall. It was smelling like fall. The temperatures were down and whatnot. She had booked this family photo session for us, and I was like, oh, fuck that. But that was the only thing we had to do, and it was on Sunday. And I saw on Instagram, they were like taking pictures of these Starbucks drinks, and I got the wrong one, but I tried to get it. It was like do you know like the nitro cold brew they have in there?
Yeah.
It's like cold brew on a tap, like a beer. It's like a nitro keg of coffee. It's super good. I call it a breakfast beer if you ever get it. And it's just like, I just put a little bit of cream in it. They'll do like a sweet cream and stuff. I'm not big on the sweetener, so I don't do that. And the cream just like drizzles down all slow and it mixes in with the nitro. It's a breakfast beer. It's fucking delicious. It'll get you all zapped up and wired.
Wow.
So I got one day. We went to lunch the last week sometime, and I was like, "You want a fucking Starbucks?" She's like, "Yeah, let's go in." We didn't even mobile order. Walked in and ordered in person like old times, right? Because it was
oh, we
Go ahead.
No. They didn't get our order the last time we mobile ordered, and then they wouldn't make the drink.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It took us way longer
She
than
wanted me to prove that I
Yep.
actually ordered it.
Are you kidding?
It was in that
Oh, yeah.
Antelope part of town or Alberta, wherever we were.
Because I was going to say, usually they're pretty cool
Yeah.
about fuck-ups. Because I've gone to my regular one and accidentally clicked the wrong store. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's totally the wrong one. And I was like, well, what's up, guys? Like, where's my fucking drink? I thought I was late. And they're like, hey, you don't even come around here anymore. What's going on? Where'd you been? I like moved, like blah, 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 getting in all this story. I was like, no, seriously, where are my fucking drinks? And they're like, no, you don't have any drinks here. And I was like, oh, no, here's my thing. Oh, it's on this and this street. Oh, yeah, that's the one down the street. I got you. Fucking forget about it. I'll make you your drinks.
Right?
That's usually how they are.
Yeah.
I mean, those are my regular people or whatever. So anyway, we go in there. We go into the Starbucks, order in person because the afternoon, there's no fucking line. Hey, what's up, guy? What's up? Fucking ordered this thing. And I was like, yo, what is this thing I've been seeing on the Instagram? And he's like, the fucking salted caramel nitro cold foam blah
That
blah.
shit's amazing.
Okay, so you
oh
know.
my god, I love it.
So I tell
Love
her
it.
so I get the nitro. She's waiting for a frappuccino to be made. I was like, I'm gonna be a basic white bitch, and when we go to the pumpkin patch on Saturday with the baby, I'm gonna order that drink. And I forgot it. I called it something different. And she's like, you mean like a basic white bitch? I was like, yeah, that. I'm gonna do that. So I go into there and I try to order it, but I ordered the wrong one. I got a cold brew. So it was like the cold brew on ice with the foam. Mm-hmm. And then I got a little bit of cream in it, but not the sweet cream. And then I got only one pump of caramel, not the 4. Because I can't have like all that extra. And it was the perfect amount of sweet and a lot of salt.
Yeah.
And it was just like super cool. And I was all wired. I hadn't eaten much that day. I just finished a giant coffee from the morning. Like I had in 2 different sittings. It was like an extra. And I was like at the pumpkin patch. I was like, the baby though, he wasn't sleeping. So he finally like got his nap. And like we had to like wake, he was asleep, so we're running all these extra. We weren't gonna go to Starbucks, but he fell asleep in the car. So she was like, "All right, I'm gonna go get gas." I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go get these lotto tickets." I was like, "Fuck it, he's asleep. Why don't we do the Starbucks thing like we joked about?" Because she already bumped it to Sunday. She's the queen of that shit. I'll be like, "Yo, we're gonna do this." She's like, "Well, we should really do that tomorrow." I was like, "You know what happens? You bump that shit to the next day, and then we get busy the next day, and then the shit that I want to do doesn't end up fucking happening." She's like, no, because I want to do my makeup because we're going to take pictures at the pumpkin patch. You know we're going to take pictures at the pumpkin patch. And then we're going to go to the family photos. And I don't want to have to do my makeup twice and all this shit. And I was like, okay, fine. But it's fucking happening. So it ends up going to get the Starbucks. Baby is asleep, though. So we get to the pumpkin patch. We're like waking him up, getting him out of the car seat. And he's just like, So in like all of these photos at the pumpkin patch, he's just like, Elvis lip curled up, looks stoned, just like totally unamused. We got a couple cute photos with him, but it was like, all right, let's go, because we had to get to these fucking pictures. But it was like that was going on back in Sac. The weather got cool. I had a basic bitch moment. Went to the pumpkin patch.
I love it.
Had family photos at some park in Lodi. It was cool. I was really dreading those photos. And then I hadn't smoked since
Some park in Lodi, Mickey Grove Park.
Nah, maybe.
Was there like a zoo there? There used to be a zoo there.
I don't know. It was a big
And Chinese
park.
garden, and they got all kinds. It's
We only
big.
kind of like stayed in the entry. It's like on the verge of like Stockton and Lodi or something.
Yeah,
Grove, I think, was in the
Yeah,
sign.
it's Mickey Grove
Yeah.
or Mick Grove
Something
or whatever.
like that.
Yeah, it's Micke. I think it's really cool. One of my aunts'
I didn't know I had a park.
married family. That's where they would always do their family reunions, and we got invited a lot of years.
Oh, yeah?
just because we were close, and it was always a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff to do out there.
Yeah, it seemed like a really
Yeah.
cool. People were fishing. They had paddle boats. I saw paddle
Yeah.
boats down yonder. We were only kind of like in the entryway. There were these quick mini sessions. This photographer girl that's been taking our photos and stuff like that, she booked like these mini sessions. So she was just like knocking people out back to back to back, like in the dusk. So you don't have much time because you're losing light. And it was like
yeah.
15 minutes a session. Anyway, it was cool, man. We missed you guys though, and I'm glad you guys had fun. I wasn't trying to text you a lot because I knew you guys were on your honeymoon.
know.
I wasn't trying to talk to y'all. And then it was kind of nice to have like a break from this business and stuff too. Just kind of like be home and around.
Yeah.
Because the weekend before was crazy. It was like,
It
we had the fucking bachelor
The
party.
bachelor party was a blast.
It
We haven't
was a
talked about that.
blast.
We'll talk about that on SS.
And then we went golfing, and then we went, and it was baseball playoffs, and it was like drinking every night, and then it was the
Yeah.
wedding, and that shit got crazy. And then we went to LA, and then I was just like, oh, and then I got the flu. Like, so Nikki got some weird bug, like some 24-hour flu, and she was throwing up and all this crazy stuff. I thought she just got food poisoning. And then the next day I got it, but mine was coming out the other end. And it was like by Friday night I was like shivering and couldn't stop shitting, and it was just like fuck. And then Saturday I finally felt a little better, but it was just like we were just laying low, like not doing much. I wasn't eating much, and I was just like, I'm not doing anything.
How
like
was baby? Was he okay?
he's cool, and that's what I worried. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
fuck, you got it, I got it. Fingers crossed baby doesn't get it, but he seems cool. He seems all right. So anyway.
Things have been hectic as shit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, being in Mexico and having a break from everything was good for my mental state.
I bet.
I was about ready to snap. And we just realized that there's so much busy stuff going on that we haven't been spending enough time with our kids.
Well, I mean, wedding and prep and all that, it's awesome.
And the yard.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's such, you're preparing for something that's life-changing, in some way. And I told Mr. Orange, I was like, I don't think we're spending enough time with the kids, though.
Oh,
like,
no.
board games and stuff, like, we haven't even...
I was working weekends, which screwed it all up.
It's kind of tough. It was a little bit tough, It's taking away the TV remote controls and all that. It's still there's a lot of pressure, and can't force the kids to play, but I mean, if the both of us will do something.
Oh, no, we can force the kids to play games with us.
Well, what's cool now, though, I mean, that's, like you said, a life-changing event, a positive life-changing event, right? And a lot of prep and a lot of work goes into it. And you guys did a lot of work because you, remodeled the whole renovated the whole backyard to do it. So everybody understands. Maybe the kids don't understand as much because they're kids, but in retrospect or in hindsight, when they're older, they don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's like all of that planning and lead up work and preparation had to occur. Now that it's done, now it's like, now you can live. So now it's like, all right, you've acknowledged
Now
that.
we can pay debt.
Well, that too. That's part of it too.
I know.
Another excuse not to do anything or buy a timeshare. I don't know. But fucking, now it's like, all right, let's have a weekend like I just described, like where you don't do anything and you stay home and you don't go to dinners and you don't go to movies and you don't fucking go get smashed and spend some fucking times with the kid. That was like, I was playing Zelda. Like I'm like on level 6 of Zelda 1. I've never been on level 6 of Zelda 1 ever in my life. And I'm just like, this is crazy. I understand why people love this game now. I mean, I always liked it, and I always liked the music, but I could never get past any of the levels. It was just too fucking complicated. I was like, I figured this shit out. Well, actually, I had a cheat code. But anyway, and then I found a map on the internet, so I'm walking through it. But I'm playing it.
You are playing it, but it was a lot different when we didn't have the internet.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. I was like, how did anybody ever beat this without a map?
You would hear a rumor at school, and someone would tell you about some crazy way to do something. You couldn't wait to get home and
to try it.
Stab the mountain in some random area.
How do you figure it out if you didn't have the Nintendo Power? If one kid, because the kid down the street had the Nintendo Power, and I was like, this is the only reason they beat those games, because the Nintendo Power had the tips and the maps.
Yeah. The maps.
We never had no Nintendo Powers or maps. I don't know how my brothers figured this shit out. Probably the same way you were talking about.
From the homies.
Yeah.
From the one kid everybody knew that had the Nintendo Power.
So fucking...
His parents loved him the most.
Make a point to spend some time with the kids now.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
Out like a Friday night or even like a Thursday or something. We'll figure it out. I think there's going to be...
Well, it'll be Sunday night as often as possible just because I think it's the best night to do it.
Well, yeah,
so...
true.
Sunday night, family night, Sunday dinner, reset, refocus, get ready for school, that kind of
thing. An early
thing.
dinner thing with a game. So we used to do it. We were a lot better about it. We haven't been, and so we're going to do it. Yeah. I'm actually going to take Mandarin up to the mountains next Friday, and then everybody else is going to come up later that night. And then I'm going to take him golfing in the morning. He's acting out. I think a lot of it's just because I've been unavailable for months. Just been busy. So... Well, definitely since they got back from Hawaii, it's been full bore.
I think it's just the hormones. I really think being a teenager.
Oh no, I'm not saying that that's not a huge part of it. I'm just saying I don't know that I'm not helping the situation by letting him figure it all out on his own.
You're absolutely right. Communication wise, I remember my mom and dad. Well, they're foreigners, right? They have to work so much and provide or whatever it was. They didn't keep up with asking us how's everything going. The relationship. They never really. They love us. What else do you want? We provide. And, you have certain things, but I think the communication part, like what you're doing, taking them up there is going to be great.
Hope so.
Hopefully. So my mom and dad never did that, and I think I would have had a better relationship with them now if they would have done that when I was a teenager. Not
knowing your relationship with them as much as obviously you guys do, but that one time when we all went up to the mountain house, the kids were like, they were having a blast.
Oh, yeah.
And Mandarin was out there. Mandarin, right? He was out there fishing and messing around. He was out there the whole time. It's like you couldn't pry him away from that. So obviously you're going to have some father-son time with him and whatnot. But I think that's a great idea, and I think that environment's going to be great. And the fact that he's going to be getting a lot of one-on-one time with you is going to be great, because I know that he likes that environment just based on that little observation that I had. So that's good, man.
He loves it. I think it'll be a good trip. I'm really hoping my mom, they don't rent it out next season. We were talking to them about it today, and they're not sure yet, but I hope we can go out there more, because we'll go a lot. It'll just be, it's so much closer for us. And if they're not going, it's like the thing where you can get off of work and you can get up there, and with a little bit of planning, you can still have dinner up there at a reasonable hour on Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you get to spend those 2 days there, and they shut off all the devices and, get away from all that and just sit in that backyard and looking at the forest in the morning. I mean, that lingers with you for a certain amount of time.
It felt good. That was a great trip when we all did it.
Yeah, we should do it again.
We should.
I mean, it depends on when it's going to get cold.
Oh.
We'll talk. We should literally do it again soon. Well, I want to go up there and eat cookies.
Let's get in the Wayback Machine
we're
and do it
doing
again
cookies when we're going up there.
2 months ago.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because it's cold now.
Well, yeah, but it's not cold enough that we have to put antifreeze in all the lines.
Oh, okay.
It'll be fun cold. We'll get up there. It'll be cold for a few hours while we're unpacking and getting a fire going. And it's kind of...
Yeah.
I remember that feeling from when I was a kid, getting up there dark and it being cold. Or often we would go to families' houses, so, you would make that transition. But it was just magical. I remember going up there a lot when I was very young.
That's cool.
My parents were still together, and they got divorced when I was 9. So those are young memories, and they're good memories. So I want to recreate those, and I hope my mom doesn't rent it out, because then we'll take a full advantage of that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Be awesome.
Cool, man. Oh, man, this week's P3 comes from the Abbot, the leader of the legendary Wu-Tang Clan. A big a big proponent of positivity and meditation, so it falls right in line. He posts this stuff on the Instagram and the Twitter all the fucking time, and I don't. Maybe we've used one before, but I usually gloss over them. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna pick this one this week, and it says meditate on this. Attitude is a choice. Happiness is a choice. Respect is a choice. Honesty is a choice. Kindness is a choice. Positivity is a choice. It's your choice. Hashtag Wu-Tang. and I retweeted it, hashtag P3, because it falls right fucking in line with what everything we're trying to do. And all that's really true, you know? And it's not coming from like a pretentious, holier than thou type of I'm smarter than you type of thing. It's just kind of like, if you think about that, and it goes back to kind of like the redirecting of thoughts that I talked about a few episodes ago or whatever, or something that I've been trying to work on. When I notice myself going down that pebble turning into that boulder, I kind of stop and I redirect and think, and I make the choice to think better. I make the choice to focus on the positive, or I look out the window and I see the gossiping and I'm like, I'm not even going to focus on that. I'm going to look back in here and I'm going to look at that Derek Jeter ball, and that Derek Jeter ball is going to give me strength, you know? That's that redirecting. I'm choosing to have a better thought, you know?
Once you understand this, you understand it on a deep level. You might have known it, now you understand it. Those are the two words that I think are the difference makers.
It's like, you know of that. Like, I'll always try to preach this shit to my mom. Not preach it, because again, preach seems like I'm trying to, you know what I mean? But it's like, I try to tell her this stuff. And because she's going through health issues and whatnot, and she's very negative, and I feel like that negativity doesn't help the fucking health issues.
Oh, no.
And she'll be like, yeah, I know that, blah, 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 but this. But it's like, do you know it or do you understand it? And sometimes it takes a moment of awakening. Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's different. I think the smoking is different. I thought about that because a really smart lady that we work with smokes, and I'm just like, and I know it's an addiction and people have their vices, not judging that at all, but I thought about it today because we were walking out or whatever to like this fire drill, and I was like getting blasted by all this smoke, and I was like, who the fuck's blowing up the spot? And then like she's kind of like trucking to get out of everybody's way, and she's blowing the bogue, and I was just like, that's just weird. Like she's like, not that, and this seems, we might have to cut this. I don't know. Right. It's you know what I'm talking about though? It's like,
you should know, but you don't. Doctors that smoke.
Right.
That's what you're getting at. It's somebody that you would
so that's like a I don't give a fuck moment though. It's like, you know, but you don't give a fuck because the vice is that important to you.
Or you don't give you know that cigarettes are bad, but you don't understand the consequences. Or you truly don't think it'll happen to you. Oh, I knew a guy once that smoked for 75 years. Right. He lived. Yeah, well, I've known a lot of people that didn't live that long.
I feel like with this person though, that she's taking a risk knowing full well what can fucking happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like an ignorance thing because the person is so smart. So
right up until you get that near-death experience, and that's what happened to my uncle. Because he always had that, I could step out in front of a truck tomorrow and get killed. And
was that
so
the uncle that was at the bachelor party?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
And then all of a sudden he almost dies, and now it's not so fucking important anymore.
Did he stop?
Yeah.
Oh. So he had a little come to Jesus moment. He actually saw the light a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
The light.
Like, bad.
That was early on when we were doing this, and you were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool guy.
He is. But, you know, he for years had that attitude of, yeah, I know it's killing me, but whatever, I could die tomorrow. But then as soon as he actually realized he could, like, really die tomorrow, he stopped.
Well, and that's what I think it's like back to mom. It's like she knows, but she hasn't tried to put it into effect, and then experiencing it, and then has yet to experience it working. So she just thinks it's like frivolous bullshit, kind of. Yeah. Like I bought her the book, I bought her The Secret, I bought her that manual, right? And when she was going through way deep in the woods of the chemo and shit, and I don't know. She says she read it, but I don't really believe it. And if she read it, it didn't sink into a point of understanding. It was more just like, yeah, I know this shit, whatever, and then didn't try to actively use it.
Yeah.
It's a tool that you have to utilize. It's a tool that you have to, it's a muscle that you have to exercise, just like benching and curling. You know? You can't just go in there lifting the bar. You got to like put some weight on there to like, if you want to get any kind of definition or tone or increased strength, you know?
Hey, we're glad to be back.
Welcome home.
Bottom line, you mentioned about not wanting to preach to your mom about it too much or to anybody. And that's how I kind of felt while we were down there. I talked to a couple of people about it, but I was real cool. I didn't push it real hard. I said, yeah, we got a website. And one guy was like loving it. He's like, oh, I love this. And a couple other people said they'd check it out. So who knows? But I was put it out there as a way of life. I'm reading a book right now about a guy that took a trip in 1970 from Amsterdam to Nepal. It wasn't about preaching their way of life as they went. They just were trying to experience things. You know, so that's why we were down there. I wasn't trying to overly preach P3, but I was definitely letting people know.
Right.
And a lot of people were digging it, and maybe it'll spread the love a little bit.
We
I
got to
think it
get
was
the
great,
P3
man.
stickers.
Yeah, for
P3
sure.
stickers.
We didn't bring any stickers. I was disappointed. We'll figure that out.
I actually, real quick about the wedding, was it your cousin? Is there a fellow named?
Yeah.
Tall one.
I felt like a celebrity. I don't know if I told you this.
He listens to the show.
We were at the keg getting a beer, and I think I was busting Q's balls or something like that because we were around the corner, and he's like, "Shit, you look like you going to the Viewers' Choice Awards," and started making fun of my fresh ass maroon velvet jacket. And fucking, I started busting his balls or something like that, talking, and he turns to me and he goes, "Why do I know your voice?" Or something like that. He goes, "Are you Duffman?" And I felt like, I was like,
That's awesome.
"Yeah, man." I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "I listened to the show. I thought that was your voice." Like, I was like, and I think if he ever hears this, he's like, "That's not how it went down." I'm more or less paraphrasing. I think that's how it went down. That's how I remember it. And I was like, "This is awesome, man. This is like my first fucking celebrity moment." Like, this
You
guy,
should have been like, "You want my autograph?"
I felt like it, but I didn't want to be too much of like a dick. Like, I
Oh,
didn't
he
know
would have thought it was
Can I
hilarious.
sign your chest, young sir? He's like, "Sure, man. All right, now we got to take a selfie." But it was
Now we'll have to have him up, and you can autograph
yeah, we
his
should.
chest.
I'm pretty sure I told him.
I
was like,
want
"We
him to
gotta
come
have you
on.
up."
He keeps saying he's too shy, but we're going to get you on the show
I
there.
think he mentioned that or something. He was like, "I'm a listener, not a talker." or
It's his
something.
family that goes down to Midgrove Park, so he's going to have to come up here and correct me about all the things I'm wrong about at that park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's in the area.
Oh, yeah, they're in
wouldn't,
Vacaville.
wouldn't be too hard for it to get him up here.
They're towards the Bay Area.
Oh, cool, man.
Yep. All right.
Fucking A, man. Well, it's good to be back. It's good to be back on the airwaves for all two of you listeners. I am the Duffman. You can catch me at Duffman916 on IG and the Twitter. We have _outhouse on Instagram. Check that out. We're going to promote all of the Outhouse productions on the IG and cool photos and links and pictures. And, you know, it's Instagram, right? Lacing shit up. The 2-part Tupac tribute is coming soon. We got busy like we talked about and didn't get it up before we took our little hiatus and whatnot. But yeah, that's coming. Same shit, different toilet. We got another one of those coming out for you guys. And don't forget about the P3 Instagram as well.
Hey, you guys, Mama KGB here, a.k.a. Mrs. Orange now. Follow me at Mama_KGB with an a.k.a. Mrs. Orange coming soon.
All right. Are we gonna? Do we have to change?
I
your
was
name?
thinking about that. Should we change her to Mom Orange?
Mrs. Orange, Mr. Orange.
Mrs. Orange. That would make more
Well,
sense.
you know what? It's cool. It's like the Wu-Tang or any of the
Yeah.
rappers. You got like 3, 4, 5 different nicknames.
That's what we need.
So we're all gonna start accumulating nicknames.
Yep.
So and then eventually, when you get to it, it's like AKA,
Yeah.
AKA. We can do like that Chris Rock Method Man
love
skit. Yeah.
All right, thanks for listening, shitheads. Swing by the website. There's a whole P3 page with a link to the Instagram. There's links to everything on the website. All of our Twitters, all of the various ways you can listen to us. If you're still listening to this, you must really love us. Thanks for showing up at the wedding as well. We love you guys. Peace.
Peace.